All right, we are taking a look at number 16, another one of these where we have to write the sigma notation. So I'm going to do it pretending it's not multiple choice, just so I know I have command over it. But then we will utilize the fact that it's multiple choice as well. Okay. So the first thing I'm noticing is that the signs ping pong back and forth from positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, which means I'm going to have some sort of -1 through some exponent. In other words, it's an alternating sequence, right? Or alternating series. Sorry. Now, let's just make sure we really understand this one versus this one, because those are the two basic ones we usually use, okay? Well, if I substitute in a 1 for the k, right, I would get this. And -1 to the first power is -1. If I substitute in a 1 here, I end up with -1 to the 1 plus 1, so in other words, to the second. And that's actually going to get me +1 because the negative times a negative equals a positive. So what you want to take away from this, okay, let's kind of make sure that we have this down because this is going to be used a lot. For this one right here, the first number is negative. So first number, negative. For this one, we have that the first number is positive, okay? So I'm going to erase all the work. That's going to be something that we're going to want to know, right? Now, our first number, let me go up to the top here, is positive, right? It's a +4. That means we need to have this in our explicit formula that we're going to write behind the sigma. Now that's enough for me to be done with it because only one of them has that, and that is A. But let's continue on in case your problem's a little bit more difficult than that, okay? So we've taken care of the signs, but now how do we generate those numbers, right? So let me look at this as a sequence, signs aside. So in other words, I'm not going to care about the signs, you guys. I'm just going to write the numbers themselves, absolute valued, if you will. So all positives, okay? I need to think of an explicit formula that's going to generate these numbers, okay? So what I'm noticing is that this is 4 to the first power. This is 4 to the second power, 4 to the third. I'm hoping that this continues, that that's 4 to the fourth, that's 4 to the fifth, and that's 4 to the sixth. Let me just check 4 to the fourth. Actually, 16 times 16 is 256, so it is. But you might come in here and check, okay, well, what's 4 to the fourth? Is it 2 to the sixth? Okay, it is. All right. So that is very nice because that tells me then that what's going to be behind my -1 to the k plus 1, which gets me my signs, is just going to be a 4 to the k then. So when you get done writing your summation notation, right, what you want to do is you always want to check it. A lot of my tests are multiple choice. I don't understand how someone can miss this if they're not checking it, okay? So you want to start by substituting in a 1, right? So I'm going to substitute in a 1. Then I'm going to substitute in a 2. And that might be enough for me. Okay, let me just kind of put this in parentheses to really show it. Okay. Right here, I'm getting -1 to the 1 plus 1. In other words, -1 squared. So it's going to be a +1. Then 4 to the first is 4, right? So when I do the math there, what do I get? Well, I hope I get my first term of 4, and I do. If I do the math here, this is -1 to the 2 plus 1, so -1 to the third. Okay, well, then that's going to stay negative. And 4 squared is 16. I get my second term. It is generating the numbers up here at the top of the screen. So it's doing a good job, right? So I know that this is correct. Okay, so in the course that matches A right here. Now, if you want to like do it the multiple choice way, I would just start by substituting in 1. Here, if I substitute in a 1, 4 to the first is 4. So it does give me the first term. But if I substitute in a 2, right, it gets me 16, and that's not what my second term is. My second term is -16. So this is out. If I come over here and I substitute in a 1 for both k's, right, I get -1 to the first and then 4 times 1. Well, -1 to the first is -1, and 4 times 1 is 4. I'm not even getting the correct first term. I get a -4 when it's supposed to be a +4. You're out. If I substitute in a 1 here, we're going to have pretty much the same issue. It's going to be a negative, right? Because a -1 raised to the 1, and then 4 to the first. Well, that's going to be -1 times 4. I don't have the correct first term, so you're out too. Okay, so it would have to be A on that one because my process of elimination. The other ones just can't be correct. Okay, so you want to try to be able to do it where it's not multiple choice, because life's not multiple choice. You want to be able to do it on your own. But if it's a test situation and push comes to shove, use the answers, right? Just start plugging numbers in and see which ones generate this series effort. All right, so you guys, hopefully that helps you out with your number 16. Take care.